Hello everyone, it's Maddie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing the mystery around the disappearance of Bung Siriboon. Bung was abducted just a few streets away from where I currently live, so as you can imagine this is quite a confronting case to research, but it is why I wanted to do this video on Bung today. It has now been over a decade since Bung disappeared without a trace. Today we're going to dive into the case and discuss details to hopefully bring awareness to it. Bung was born on February 18th, 1997 in Thailand. She moved to Australia with her family at 7 years old. As a result, she wasn't particularly fluent in English, but she did learn it and she did speak it well. Bung went on to attend Boronia Heights College where she was said to be a good student and had a gift for math. Bung had a really good relationship with her family, which consisted of her mother, her stepfather and her sister Peng. According to her stepfather Fred, she wasn't particularly streetwise, but she did know not to get into a car with a stranger. Bung would typically walk to school with their friends, but it wasn't always the case depending on the morning. For the most part, Bung was a typical teenager who attended high school and had a normal life. But unfortunately, this all changed on that fateful day in 2011. On June 2nd, 2011, Bung left home relatively early to walk to her school in Boronia, Victoria. At the time, she was wearing a blue and white checkered school uniform. She had a dark blue school jacket on that had a zip up front, and she also had a dark coloured backpack. Bung would typically meet up with some of her friends on their walk to school, but on this particular morning it was raining a little bit, so she was due to walk the whole way herself. Bung would cross the busy main road and then she would turn left into Harcourt Road. A little way down Harcourt Road, Bung would turn left again onto Monco Street. At the end of the cul-de-sac was the back gate to her school. All up, her school was approximately a 10-minute walk away from her home, so not far at all. Bung was spotted 2 houses down from her house by a neighbour that was looking through their window, and this was confirmed to be the last sighting of Bung, and it took place at 8:25 a.m. The last possible sighting of Bung did occur at 8:55 a.m. on Harcourt Road, but this was not confirmed. If this was a real sighting of Bung, she was only 130 metres from the back gate of her school, and she was never seen or heard from again. Unfortunately, people at the school just assumed that Bung was sick that day, and so they didn't call her parents when she didn't arrive at school, and so her parents were not alerted that she wasn't there. It wasn't until around 3:30 p.m. that day that Bung's mother noticed that she wasn't home on time, and she began to worry. Later that afternoon, around a half an hour later at 4 p.m, Bung's friend phoned the home. The girl explained that she wanted to talk to Bung about what to wear to football practice the next day. Bung's mother asked, "Why didn't you discuss this at school?" And then Bung's friend said, "Well, Bung wasn't at school today." This was quite alarming, and so Bung's parents went to the school and confirmed that she had not arrived to school that day, and so they did a search of the premises themselves looking for Bung. The principal suggested to Bung's parents that they should tell police that Bung was missing, and so they went and reported her missing. They then contacted all of Bung's friends to ask if they knew where she was, but nobody did. Unfortunately, Bung had left her phone at home that day, which was something she commonly did, and so they weren't even able to attempt to contact her directly. The first 72 hours in any missing persons case are absolutely crucial. Law enforcement will typically follow up several lines of inquiry during this time, and most people are found safe and well. Amber alerts can also help to assist in the investigation. These alerts are usually sent out through text messages and via social media, but at the time that Bung disappeared, these weren't used in Australia. Bung's disappearance was considered to be completely out of character, and she did not experience any behavioural changes in the lead up to her disappearance. Investigators have since concluded that Bung was probably abducted against her will. On June 3rd, 2011, Bung's stepfather was already placing missing persons posters around the area. At 4 p.m. that day, the Leader, which is the local newspaper, put up on their online forum that Bung was missing. Early in the investigation into Bung's disappearance, the homicide squad actually took over a case as they had better resources. The area that she had vanished from was heavily searched, and police also questioned sex offenders in the area. Investigators knocked on over 1,000 doors searching for information, and they also investigated 1,200 pieces of information that had come in, but they are still unable to find Bung. The SES were also called in, which stands for State Emergency Services, and they searched the streets around Boronia Heights College. Bung's stepfather believed that somebody had taken his stepdaughter. He said, "By who and by what sort of person, I don't know. but there is no way that she left on her own accord. Police did investigate Bung's stepfather and some males that were close to her, but there was no evidence that any of them were involved at all. There was initially thought to be a connection between the disappearance of Bung and the alleged attempted abduction of one of her classmates. Bung's classmate was an 11-year-old girl, and her attempted abduction was said to have taken place on June 29, 2011. The girl said that a man wearing a mask had tried to force her into his car after she arrived late to school one day. On July 12, 2011, she admitted that she had made the whole story up. 2 years later, on December 17, 2013, police revealed that they had arrested a man who claimed he accidentally killed Bung in a road accident. This man claimed that when he accidentally killed Bung, he panicked and he buried her in a local reserve. He was interviewed and it was revealed that he made the whole story up, so he was released without charge. Police seized and examined his vehicle, and they also conducted a search of the reserve. The man was released when they couldn't find anything that linked him to Bung apart from his story, which most of his story didn't add up anyway. Robert Knight, a sexual predator that lived in the Boronia area, was also out of jail at the time of Bung's disappearance, and he was interviewed, but he was also ruled out as a suspect. In February 2014, detectives announced that there was a $1 million reward for any information leading to find the person who was responsible for Bung's disappearance. One report that was released to the public in 2016 revealed that a white station wagon was seen in Rowville on the morning of Bung's disappearance, and there was a young female passenger inside. Police have never confirmed if this young girl could have been Bung, and they have also never confirmed if there is any link to Bung's disappearance. This was actually one of 2 reports, and in both reports there was a girl matching Bung's disappearance in a white car. The other sighting had occurred around 15 minutes after Bung had left school. An Asian girl in her teens was seen on the backseat of a wide Ford Falcon driving along Boronia Road. Police were hesitant to place weight on these sightings during the initial investigation. They could not be confirmed, and they also contradicted the report that Bung was seen on Harcourt Road at 8:45 a.m. Despite this, police decided to reveal this information in hopes to confirm the sightings or bring about new leads. Unfortunately, there have been no further updates in the case since. The backpack that Bung was carrying that morning has never been found. Meanwhile, Boronia Heights College merged with a few other schools in the area and became Boronia K-12 College, and they have since placed a memorial on site for Bung. The principal said that they put a plaque in front of a tree in tribute to Bung, and it would be lit up at night to guide Bung home. The principal said because she was one of our students, it was important for the school to honour her. He also said, "I think it is still very raw for a number of people who knew Bung at the time." Her heartbroken parents have said that her disappearance has left a hole in their lives, but they do hope that they will see her again one day. Her stepdad said, "We still hope and believe she's alive. We have to. We think about all the milestones we have missed, all these things we've been deprived of. It's not fair." Anyone with any information at all is urged to contact Crime Stoppers, and I'll make sure I put their information on the screen. And the $1 million reward still stands today. The use of social media platforms like YouTube is a really good way to get people talking about Bung again, and that's why I wanted to do this video today. I hope that by raising awareness and talking about Bung's case today, somebody will remember something or come forward, and we can hopefully find out what happened to Bung. Unfortunately, Bung's family have absolutely no closure, which is extremely heartbreaking. And that is all the information I have for you guys today on this case. I know that it wasn't a lot, but hopefully it was enough to get Bung's name out there again, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Bye guys.